Hello, everyone. Welcome. All right, today we're going to talk about I was lost and now I'm found. Look at this. There's the ocean right there. So, this is going to be a quick word. My friend, I was friends with this musician, Elliott Smith, and he wrote a song, and it was talking about hanging around in the lost and found. And the hanging, okay, so, anyway, he had the best sense of humor ever. Like, I don't know if I have met anyone with a better sense of humor. We laughed so hard together. But hanging is like you're dying to your old self. If you understand what Jesus says, in order to follow me on this narrow path, on this path of true love, right? Jesus is always showing us highest consciousness and the truest love. You have to die daily. I looked it up last night. It was like 4 different verses because I'm writing a book and I wanted to reference where it was. But so he says you have to pick up your cross every day and die a little, right? Die to your old self. But this is what was coming to me earlier, is that there's a guy named C.S. Lewis, and I love him. He wrote the Narnia books, and he was friends with Tolkien, and he had a photographic memory. And did I say he wrote the Narnia books, right? And he says, our desires aren't too high. We're like kids, like wanting to make mud pies in a slum. God wants to give us a holiday at sea, like I was pointing out. He wants to give us something far more than what we're looking for. It's kind of like, so let's do the lost and found. If I was lost in my personality self, if I kept thinking, I have to prove myself as Dr. Cheryl Meyer or as Cheryl or whatever your name is, right? You have to prove yourself by earning a certain amount of money or marrying a certain person or whatever we do to try to prove ourselves on this earth, right? And then it's like we get lost in that. And look at the sun shining, right? You have an eternal nature. You are an eternal being. You have the possibility of living forever with God in heaven, of aligning here on earth with true love, with true righteousness, and giving that love to other people and directing other people towards that love. And so, all right, so all of that's just like, understand the passage I was reading this morning early in this commentary on the Gospels from the 1100s by a guy named Blessed Theophylact. But there was a guy that was born blind, and Jesus found him, healed him. He healed him by putting this, spitting on the ground, like spitting on this clay, right? And putting some clay on his eyes. And so it says that Adam was made out of clay. And so there's a whole passage about that. There's a whole commentary about that. It was so amazing and mystical and everything. But so, and he tells him, go wash this clay off in Siloam. So I forget what Siloam means. Maybe peace or wholeness or something. I know that's what shalom means. But sent, it might be sent. I don't know. But he goes and he washes, and then all the Pharisees, the people at the synagogue and stuff, at the temple, just like at the churches here sometimes, anyway, when he says Jesus healed me, or this guy healed me, right? And there's like, you can't say that, you're lying, you're a liar, or otherwise you wouldn't have been born blind. God was trying to punish you because you're a sinner, blah, blah, blah. And he's a sinner. And so they kick him out. And this is the part that I was reflecting on, is it said, once they kicked him out of the temple, Jesus went and found him. He heard about it and he found him. And then he talked to him and showed him himself. He had never seen the person that had healed him. And I was just seeing what a mystery that is. What a wonderful, beautiful thing that is I see Jesus healing so many of my friends that don't even think there's a God, and nevertheless, he's healing them. And then once they get kicked out, it's kind of like, I mean, I've experienced that experience of feeling rejected in a church, because, you know, you want to stand up for what you think is true, and they make fun of you and tell you you're ridiculous and that's of your pride and whatever. Like, and it's not like we always know how to do things perfectly, but it said in my commentary, it was so awesome, right? And I'm going to wrap this up. It said that Jesus found him. And in the commentary, it says the keepers of the temple kicked him out, and the master of the temple came and found him. And so it's just like, we're sitting around here trying to prove our worth in these little personality selves when the Creator loves us and found us and wants us to know eternal love. All right, much love.